right. Hello, home service pros. Welcome to the Battle Plan Marketing Podcast, episode number 151. Today, we got a special guest on the show, Mr. Chris Vozzo, General Manager of Poseidon Plumbing out of the Mebane, I hopefully pronouncing that right, North Carolina. Several counties in North Carolina serving. Welcome to the show, Chris.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here, and I can't wait to tell you about some of the processes that we have set in place.
Super excellent, man. Yeah, we're here to help promote you guys and help other home service operators out there run a little bit better show and avoid some of the pitfalls we all fall into anyway. So tell us what you do, where you do it, who you do it for, Chris.
So we are a plumbing company. We only do plumbing for residential homeowners in Mebane, North Carolina, and some of the surrounding counties around us. And we try to stay out of. We definitely don't do new construction, and we do very light remodels. We really try to just be in and out service work.
Nice. One day service work, preferably.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, cool. And where is the Mebane area? Sorry, Durham, North Carolina kind of area?
Yeah, so it is right between Greensboro and Raleigh.
Okay, cool. And you cover a big area of the two counties there?
Yeah, well, right now we're a pretty big area because we're a relatively new business and we're looking for more leads, really. We have to really expand our search area to get enough leads. So
Yeah. Are you mostly a rural service area or a mixture of suburbs, rural, a little bit of the city?
yeah, it's definitely a mix. It's a mixture.
Nice.
Uh, More suburban and
Okay.
rural, less big city type stuff. It's very rare that we're in any apartment complexes at all.
Gotcha. So single family homes for the most part, or multifamily, maybe
Yeah.
fourplexes and things like that. You say you knew. When did you start out, Chris?
So I officially went full time in January of 2023. So we're about a
Nice.
little bit over a year and a half in, and going strong.
Sweet. I like the branding and stuff, which we'll get into in a little bit. What made you made the jump? Were you working for somebody else?
It's just something, even as a kid, I had that entrepreneurial spirit, and it's just who I am. I knew eventually, the original plan was HVAC, and I moved to North Carolina. My father-in-law owned a plumbing company. He taught me how to plumb, and I had a guaranteed job with him, so I started doing plumbing, and I won't say I love it, but it is a good trade to be in. Not many people are in the trades, and the people that are going into trades, they're not going into plumbing. They're going to electrical, HVAC. So we get paid very well, and we can charge high tickets for what we do, just based simply on supply and demand.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, the trades are lacking. New generations coming up. I don't know why they spend a lot fortune in college and come out and wind up doing something completely other than what they went to school for. And
Yeah, I
a
mean,
lot of people not looking at the blue collar job, so to speak, where it's a great opportunity to make good money, open your own business at some point. Become self sufficient.
yeah, for sure. I mean, that's kind of how I began, actually. I grew up in Mississippi, and I went to college right out of high school. I went to college. It's just my generation. I'm 30 years old. I graduated high school in 2012, and that's just what you do whenever
Yeah,
you're my age back then. You just go to college. It doesn't
yeah,
matter. Well, what are you gonna do in college? I don't know, but that's what you do, right? You just go to college. Well, it's not right, and we're finally starting to realize that since we had that mindset, everybody in the trades that is older, they're retiring. Massive amounts of tradesmen retiring right now, and there's nobody to fill that void. So
yeah,
luckily, I
absolutely.
did fall into plumbing.
Yeah, good for you, man. Congrats. Yeah, absolutely. Society just, puts us on a plane sort of, and we go through the motions sometimes without really thinking about what we're doing or, where we're heading. And life is short, man. It goes by fast. So
Yes, it does.
pick something you're good at. I do like Alex Hermosi, right? He says, don't pursue your passion. I think he said he loved basketball, but he's 5'10", so ain't going anywhere.
Yeah,
Instead, pursue something you're really good at. If
yeah,
you pursue something you're good at, you might become great at it. And when you're
that is,
great at it, you probably become your passion. So it works in reverse sometimes. Anyway, so awesome. So in the residential world, I hit your website. Awesome branding. So how did you get in the world of marketing? What led you into the branding world? So you did a really good job coming out of the gate there. Not to kiss your butt there, Chris, but I like the name Poseidon Plumbing, and then you played off of it with the water and everything. You did the mascot that you have. So talk about your branding adventure.
yeah. So really, it all started with a good mentor, and just telling me up front, hey, the name and the brand is something that is extremely important to get right from the start. Now, looking back, I got the name wrong because my target customer is not attracted to this guy, Poseidon Plumbing. However, the branding I think really helps with that. It really kind of, I mean, it helps. It helps people understand who he is because that's kind of the issue that we run into. First of all, people don't really know how to spell it. People don't know who he is
Oh,
for the most part. You know, guys know who he is, but women don't. And frankly, our target customer most of the time is women because those are the ones that are calling us. They're the
right.
ones most of the time that are home, and just a majority of the calls we get, they're just women. That's how it is.
Sure.
So that's number one is just a great name that targets your avatar customer and a good brand to really bring that name to life. So that's where we absolutely killed it is with the brand. And
I agree.
I think it kind of saved us a bit. Uh, the people that did the brand, the standard Kick Charge Creative, they do amazing
Oh,
work. And I spent the money up front and had it done, and it totally
I,
paid off. It's one of
I
those
should have
things.
recognized that. Dan Antonelli over there at Kick Charge, yes?
Yeah, he does great work, and yeah, he's
Yeah, he does.
expensive, but I mean, he's the standard. He's the guy that is doing. There's not really many companies that can compare. So, you know,
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I've run into his work through the podcast, through many people,
mhm.
and some of the guys who are running some very large, 9-figure businesses, all defer to Dan for branding. So yeah, Dan Antonelli, Kick Charge Creative, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Yeah, so if you're looking to rebrand out there, awesome. Mixing up nice colors and the whole bit. And then you took it to another level, Chris. So you talked before we hit the record button about the book that you guys published with the full intent of, creating your brand within families and stuff, and caring about the customer. So talk a little bit about that. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah. So the cool thing about having a great brand is you can start to bring it to life. Number one, obviously, people recognize it locally because most of the time we are local companies, and you want a brand that people they even if they don't know the name, they know that brand. They can see that truck driving across the parking lot 200 yards away. They can't read anything on it, but they still know that it's you. So you want a brand you can bring to life, and the way that we've worked with Poseidon Plumbing, first of all, um, we try to create raving fans, customers that want to call us back. So we do fun stuff. We have stickers that we've made. We hand out
Nice.
stickers in stores. All of our guys walk around with these stickers in their pockets. Whenever you see kids in the stores, just hand them out.
Nice.
Here's another one here that we have made here. Super inexpensive. Literally, Kick Charge gives you all of these logos, and I mean these stickers. They come out to like 15 cents a piece. As far as
So they took your branded, I'm going to call it a mascot, if you will.
Mhm.
And they created several versions of that you could print out then after that and hand them out.
Yeah, so this is the mascot, and then let's see, this here would be the badge,
Nice.
and then this is the logo.
Oh, yeah, sweet.
So
Yeah, it
yeah,
looks great, man.
Big Charge does all that for you. And I mean, another thing they do is they part of their package is a full van wrap as well. So they design that as well.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, the book that we made. So the reason that we started working on this book is something that we can give away to children, just like the stickers. You know, whenever we show up to somebody's house, we want to we want our brand to be all over the place, right? That's the idea for your business is you want your brand to be everywhere. Everywhere people look, they see you, right? So whenever they have a plumbing issue, they call you, or HVAC, electrical, whatever your business is. So what we've done is, let's see, we have this little package that we carry around in the vans. It has the
Nice.
book in it. This book, I have less, I have well under $1,000 in the production of this book, and the book itself, you know, it's a good print book. It looks nice. It's printed and bound very well,
Nice.
just like anything you'd get in a
Nice.
store. It has
Very
great
nice.
colors in it, and this book here is about $2.50.
To print out.
Yeah, so none of this stuff is really expensive. It's just a matter of doing it. And so what we do is, we throw the book into a little cellophane package, throw some color and crayons in there, and go on Fiverr with your brand, pay someone $100, and just ask them to make you some coloring pictures. You know,
Oh,
this is
brilliant.
yeah, this is actually one of our guys that was in the field.
I
Uh,
love it.
so it's something for the guys to be proud of too. You know, cool stuff like this. I mean, we got like 20 different coloring pages
Nice.
for like $100. This stuff is not
Nice.
expensive. It's easy to do, and people remember you for it because you're giving something to their children that they love. And that's ultimately who we want to target is families that
Yep.
are busy. They don't have the time to try to figure out these plumbing issues themselves. They would rather just call us because they know we're going to show up the same day and we're going to get it done today, and they're going to have a great experience, and they know that anytime they call us, we're going to show up.
I love it. What made you did Dan help guide you towards the book, or where'd that idea come from, Chris?
I mean, the book, honestly, it's something I've always kind of wanted to do is
Hmm.
create a book, and the brand, the motivation that I've always had to make a book, and the idea of giving stuff in marketing, it all kind of just came together, and it created the book.
Love it, man.
So
Love it. What's the story? What's the Poseidon adventure story? Scuba,
yeah,
scuba adventures.
so he basically he starts off on the beach. He goes into the water, meets all these underwater animals and everything, sea creatures and whatnot. Finds some plumbing issues underwater, um, and fixes them. He finds this is Oliver the octopus, and he in the story they meet each other, and he actually becomes his helper.
Nice.
So he
I love
clears,
it.
yeah, and actually this submarine here, I had this created before the book was even being written. So this submarine is actually in the book. It's on the seafloor, leaking, and so Poseidon comes in with his pipe wrench, tightens a bolt. They pump the water out. He saves the submarine.
I love
And
it.
so yes,
That's
stuff like
awesome, man. How is it being received by your customers?
they love it. Yeah, they love
I
it for
bet.
sure. It's I'd say in total, we got about $8 in the package. So, we don't hand it out to every single person, but if you see
Right.
kids at the house, you're handing them out for sure.
Yep. I
So
love it. I love it.
it's
Great
all
idea, man.
it's all about creating. raving fans that talk about you to other people. Hey, well, why don't you call Poseidon Plumbing? I mean, they came same day and it was awesome. We had
Yeah.
such a great experience. You'll even get a free book.
Yeah. Engaged the kids, kept them busy, coloring. It's awesome. What was the gig on Fiverr? Just like a coloring book artist or something? How did
Yeah,
you get that?
if you go on Fiverr, just type in coloring book or coloring pages, and I mean, you'll get hundreds of people that you can hire, and
Yeah.
you just go through the different styles and everything, find a style that you're attracted to that you kind of like, maybe it matches your brand a little bit,
Right. Right.
and hire them. I mean, it's not expensive. Honestly, the reason this book is so inexpensive is because I wrote it. I hired an editor on Fiverr, and
Nice.
he edited it for like it was less than $100. I think it was closer to like $60, honestly. He edited it, even added some interactive questions to the end of it.
Nice.
And then all of the illustrations is from a woman that I hired on Fiverr.
Nice.
So most of the price involved with this was the illustrator, and it was like 500
Yeah.
bucks.
Nice.
But she
So
did a great
six, seven
job.
hundred bucks maybe total investment in the creation of the book.
Yeah,
And
and
then
then
just a few.
yeah, and then they're about like 250 a piece whenever you add the shipping to it.
That's awesome, man. And you print out the coloring is just a file that you're printing out on demand and sending out, including in the package. Yeah.
Yeah, I just uploaded it to Barnes and Noble Press, and they'll actually print the book and mail it to you.
Oh, there you go. Good. Good.
I got like I think 150 copies to start out with.
Yep. Nice, man. Great idea. Thinking outside the box. I like it, Chris. Let's
Yeah,
talk. So, residential plumbing, right? Do you have a favorite service that you guys love to do? Leak detection or water heaters, or what's the top three services you guys love to get those calls?
well pumps, obviously water heaters, and that customer that has a main stoppage and they're on cast iron because that's a sewer main right there.
Hmm.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I mean, if I could pick what calls I get every day, it would be those three for sure.
gotcha. Now the sewer line's a bigger job, right? That's not a 1 day job usually for you, or how's that work?
We can usually get it done in a day, but you have to get an inspector out there, so you end up backfilling the next day.
Gotcha. And are you doing all the various methods of repairing a sewer pipe? You pulling in a liner, or what are the cures
No,
for it?
yeah, we just dig it up and replace it. See, pipelining, I looked into it. That's a business all in itself. I mean, if you're gonna get,
Definitely.
yeah, I think if you get into pipelining, you need to be focused on specifically pipelining, and that's it.
Yeah,
It's
agree.
just problem with it. Number one, um, you got to train all these guys to do it, and the customer doesn't really save that much money. I think the only difference is you don't tear up their yard. But
Yeah.
if it was my house, I would rather have brand new PVC in the yard than cast iron that has a lining inside of it. Personally, that's what I would want.
Hmm. Yeah, it
Uh,
depends on the hardscape, I guess. If they're landscaping and hardscape is,
yeah,
a
that's true.
serious investment, then we got some problems, right?
Yeah, and I guess driveways and stuff that could
Right.
definitely change uh,
Right.
which route you would want to go. But the other problem with it is the shelf life of the what is it? The I don't think it's glue, but whatever liquid you put all
Oh,
over
yeah.
the pipelining, the shelf life of
Right.
that stuff, first of all, it's extremely expensive, and the shelf life is not that long. So I just don't see any sense in getting into that unless it was, full time. That's all we do.
Gotcha. Yeah, my limited experience is indeed that it is usually a company that's all they do, and then the plumbers hire them out. Sometimes on a white label, they'll go in a unmarked truck and stuff that looks like your crew, kind of thing. Yeah, So water heaters, are you getting into the heat pump type of water heaters or
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you brought that up because there's actually a brand new water heater hitting the market in America. It's called an EmberTech H2O. Do you know what a mini split is? We're talking HVAC now. A mini split,
oh,
just those little. They have the head units inside, and then you run a
oh,
line set outside, and it's just
oh,
basically like an AC unit for just like one room.
okay, yes.
Yeah. So imagine a ductless mini split, but instead of a head unit inside blowing cold air, you have a water heater tank inside, and you're just dumping heat into that tank.
Gotcha.
It's essentially what it is. So, the one that you would probably be most familiar with as far as water heaters go would be A.O. Smith has one, and it's all one big package unit.
I see.
It is a heat pump water heater, but the heat pump portion is on the water heater mounted to the top. But the big issue with those is you need like at least 700 cubic feet of space. If you don't have
Oh,
700 cubic feet, then you have to run ducts to get that air from somewhere. And it's a huge pain in the butt.
I
And
see.
it just, they're not easy to install. With this one, it's about the same size as your normal water heater. You don't need any makeup air because the condensing unit is outside and you just run a line set to it. And they're much more energy efficient than the heat pump heaters that we see in Home Depot and Lowe's.
Super. What's that brand name again?
Embertech H2O. It's an Australian company, and
Embertech? How do you
yeah,
spell that?
Embertech
Thank you.
H2O. So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's coming
they,
on.
they've been installing them in California. They hit the West Coast first. They've installed tens of thousands of them in Australia. They've been doing well in Australia. They've been
Mm,
doing well in California. We've installed. There's only two of them that have been installed in North Carolina, or actually, I
really?
think on the whole East Coast, and we've installed both of them, and they've been running great. We installed the
Wow.
first one probably like 4 or 5 months ago, and it's been doing well.
How's the cost comparison?
It's about
Installation.
Yeah, so I think it's about $300 or $400 more than the heat pump heaters, and so you're looking probably 2200 dollars for the unit. So it's significantly more than your standard electric water heater. Way more energy efficient though.
Gotcha. How about warranty on that thing? If with lifespan expected?
Yeah, they do a 10-year warranty on the tank. I'm not sure what they do on the condensing unit.
Gotcha.
And
Yeah.
it's all plug and play too. The cool part is, whenever I went to install the first one, I was looking at buying a vacuum pump. We're gonna have to pull a vacuum on the line set and all this mess. And I get there for the demo install, and they're like, "Yeah, you just plug it in. The line set is pre-charged."
Wow.
So yeah, you just literally you twist the line set on, and everything's pre-charged. You open the king valve to release the refrigerant and power it up, and in 2 or 3 hours you got hot water. So
Crazy.
it takes a lot longer to heat the water, but I mean that's the trade-off with energy efficiency. So
Yep. Yep. Yeah. You're giving up something.
yeah,
Awesome. Uh, so again, what were the other favorite services there?
well
Water
pump.
heaters, well pumps. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Well
definitely.
pumps.
I love doing well pumps. I actually enjoy doing well pumps. They're fun and they pay well too. And
Yeah.
uh, so yeah, they're typically anywhere from 150 to 350 as far as the depth goes around here.
Do you get the water filtration side after that then usually also or?
The water out here is pretty good. I'd say probably 75% of the houses out here do have filtration. Most of
Oh,
that is
wow.
just the inline cartridge filter.
Right.
Probably only like 30% of the houses on well water have an actual water softener or a neutralizer.
Wow. Wow. That's low, right?
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, our water heater life is 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
I know some parts of the country you're down around 5 years because the water's so
Yeah. Yeah. Out here, I'm in Southern California. Water is so hard, man. It just destroys everything. Yeah. So everybody should have that. Yeah. Especially if you're on well water. I don't know if I would trust the groundwater. Uh, I would want a serious system, especially today. You got microplastics and everything in the water, man.
Yeah,
You gotta have filtration. I don't care how good the Muni. My own personal opinion. I don't care how good the Muni water is. I want filtration. On the whole house. RO at the kitchen sink, all
mm,
that good stuff. What are the two or three biggest challenges right now, Chris? Would you say running the company?
I would say. Well, it was hiring, but here recently we've been getting a lot of applications. I would say just getting leads. I know, I know it's that thing as oh, if I just had more leads, I would make more money. Um,
Yeah.
but it, I understand the idea of well, what are you doing with the leads that you have? And I'd say we're maximizing the leads we have pretty well. Um, yeah, we're squeezing what we got. We're squeezing everything we can get out of it, and we have a pretty good system. We have a pretty good sales system in place, a really good customer experience in place, and I think at this point I'm ready to start scaling. I was looking at my P&L, and my marketing is actually a little low. I need to bump up my marketing for sure. So I think this is the next challenge I'm gonna have to face is just ramping up the marketing.
Yep. Trying to scale the lead, incoming lead, and plug the hole. So I'm glad to hear you have a sales process, follow up, right? That's the key. And like all these leads come in, and then we lose a lot of them because we don't follow up on them. So I'm glad to hear you got a process there.
Yeah,
Uh,
I would say
what are the? Go ahead.
my rehash could definitely be better as far as physically calling people back. So that's
Yeah.
definitely another challenge. Um, we are we are doing text message and email rehash on customers,
Oh,
but
great to hear.
actually calling them, physically calling them to try to close the deal, we haven't started that. So
Yeah.
that's definitely I need to start that as I'm trying to scale the marketing for sure.
Yeah. Well, most people don't follow up. So having, text and email follow up is better than nothing and super effective, right? Especially if you're giving them a link in that to your calendar or whatever
Hmm.
to, book, increase that booking rate, right?
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
what are the marketing channels that you're working with now, Chris? What's working the best and what's absolute crap out there, would you say?
LSA, Google LSA did very well at first, the local service ads. What I've noticed is when you're a brand new business, the LSAs typically are pretty strong, and then they start to kind of die off. So we started up PPC, got a good website going in September of last year. So we have our website's been up for about a year, an actual good website.
Yep.
Website's doing pretty well.
Looks good.
I would
Forms on every page. You're trying to lead capture. So good job on the site.
Yeah, definitely. PPC, I think, is doing pretty well. It's kind of hard to say because I don't really know much about it. I've hired that out,
Yep.
and they just kind of tell me, "Hey, it's going up. The trend line's going up, so that must be good, right?" And so I think PPC is doing pretty well. And I just started Facebook ads about 2 weeks ago. I haven't really checked in on them very much. I'm giving them time to, be out there
Yep.
and do their thing before I start trying to pull data off of it.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Are
so
you doing organic social also at all, or
yep, so we post on socials 3 times a week, and then we send
nice?
out 1 email per week to all the emails that we have.
Excellent. To your existing customer base, Chris?
Yeah, all the emails we have, which is going to be anybody that's at least booked a call with us.
Awesome. Awesome. And what are those emails kind of? Are they like tips and specials? Do you mix it up or what's going on there?
Yeah, so it took me a long time to get into emails because, I mean, who really looks at them, honestly? Like,
Yeah.
I don't think it was one of those things where do I even want to waste my time on an email? Because my personal email, I don't even look at it anymore. It's just
Right.
nothing but junk in there.
It is
With that
mostly
being
junk,
said,
but it is still effective.
yeah, with that being said, it's very inexpensive, and why not do it? You still
Yep.
got to do it, you know? So we started doing it. I don't really ask for much as far as I don't ask for people to buy stuff from us in the emails.
Good.
We mostly just give educational content in the email.
Good. Yeah, that's exactly how you should do it. Yeah, if you are informing, educating instead of just selling all the time, then your open rate should get up to like 40% or so. It's in the 30-40%. You're doing good. And that's a lot of eyeballs. So I can tell you all the companies we work with, email marketing does work. It does take time and you can't be greedy. You can't be all about you and selling and stuff. So it sounds like you're doing the right thing, seasonal plumbing tips, DIY kind of stuff, simple things, even things that you don't want them to call you for, right? So simple little things like whatever, maybe how to dislodge the garbage disposal or, little things like that that you don't want those calls on or something.
Yeah.
That's great, man.
Yeah.
Are you, go ahead. Sorry.
Well, no, just talking about, the simple things. I was talking to my mentor, and he's saying with his business, they want to be that company that everybody calls, even if it's not plumbing. Like,
Yep.
hey, if you call them, they're going to at least give you an answer. They might not be the one that's going to help you fix it. Maybe they will. If you're slow and you have a customer calling you to come out and teach them how to change a filter, yeah, you don't want to do it, but you're slow. What else are you going to do? You know,
Right.
your
Right.
job, my job is to get my guys' foot in the door and then let them do their thing.
Yep.
If I get their foot in the door because a customer's calling us to change their air filter, well, we don't do HVAC. Doesn't matter. It's going to get his foot in the door, right? You don't have to be licensed to change an air filter. You know,
Right.
hey, while we're there, we're going to do a full plumbing inspection. Maybe we'll find something and
Yep.
educate the customer. That way, say everything's perfectly fine, brand new house, nothing is wrong, everything's perfect. All right, well, whenever something does go wrong, we help them out. They're going to
Yep.
remember that. So,
Yeah, exactly. Especially coming in there with your branding and the coloring books and the kids and all that stuff. Yeah, absolutely. Do you do any local community stuff at all, Chris?
yeah,
Any?
so let's see. We try to do one community event every quarter.
Nice.
So, let's see. We started this. So the first big one was last quarter. It was Q2. And what we did is a coloring contest. So we met up at the local snow cone place. We paid for snow cones while we were there, and we also
Nice.
asked people because snow cones they're going to have kids coming most of the time.
Sure.
So we asked them, "Hey, do you want to color some pages? We're doing a coloring contest, and we're going to pick three winners, and we're giving away classes to the local paint shop where they do
Mhm.
painting classes, art classes type stuff."
Love it.
And so we gave away three. I think they were like week-long classes. Didn't cost. I think it was like $100 per class, so it doesn't cost that much.
Beautiful.
Just one of those things. You can't really measure how much money it brings you. It's just one of those
Right.
things you have to do in the community.
Yeah, 100%. You're branding yourself. Very difficult to, attribute where those sales are coming from, but done well, and that's really done well. Did you promote that on social also? Like they could download the drawing, right, and color it in and upload it, or did you just keep it local in the
So,
person to person thing?
no, that is a good idea. But the way we did it is they either sat down at the table and colored it there, or they took it home and colored it. Because the hard part is we have to get the parents' information so that we can reach back out to them.
I
And
see.
so no, we didn't have like a website form set up for it or anything like that. Definitely next time that's
Yeah,
probably where it should grow to. But another part of it is what they're coloring is our branded stuff.
exactly. It's
You know,
beautiful, man. It's great. It's
pirate,
fantastic.
fishing, got the
I
hat
love
right.
it.
So yeah, and they throw it up on the fridge. I mean, I have a lot of kids, and I have a lot of pictures on my fridge. Um, so
That's great, man. I
it's
like it. Good branding, man. Staying local. That's smart stuff, you know. I like the way you're branding. What's your unique selling proposition when the guys get out to the house, Chris? And we'll wrap it up here soon. You know, what's their pitch? What's their elevator pitch on Poseidon Plumbing?
well, I mean, really, the pitch. The guys don't really have a pitch other than to just go to the house and listen to what the issue is. Um, empathize with the customer and present options to fix it. I'd say
Perfect.
the pitch really starts when the customer types into Google plumbers near
Right.
me.
Right.
And it's very hard to get a brand new business up there where people are
Yep.
going to see it. I mean, that's the one thing that we continue to struggle with is just staying up there at the top. I mean, there's a lot of companies out here and everywhere, and that's just the number one problem you're going to have when you're brand new.
Yeah.
That
Yeah. It's
starts,
hard to
and
get seen in Google.
but yeah, I mean, honestly, the pitch number one is the brand, and number two, same day booking. We're going to get out there and get it fixed for you today. And I don't think there really is much of a pitch other than just making the customer feel comfortable the whole time and knowing that they're still in control the whole time. Obviously we send out the text messages, try to get the customer to know the guy before he even gets there. We send
Nice.
out a bio, we send out a picture, um, a detailed bio about the actual technician that's personalized. It doesn't really talk much about plumbing. It tells how long they've been plumbing, but it tells something completely separate from plumbing. Like one of the guys likes to ride dirt bikes, so
Right.
it says that. And
I like it.
the pitch really is to just make the customer feel like they know you before they even call you.
Yeah. No, your pitch was perfect, actually, Chris. It's listening to what
Hmm.
the problems, wants, and the needs are of the client, presenting a few options with pricing, maybe financing. You guys do financing?
Yeah, we financed a well pump last week.
Nice. Yeah. Make it easy for them to buy. So, no, the pitch is perfect, man. 100% customer satisfaction guarantee.
Yeah, I mean that's the goal every time, and we get
Yeah.
a lot of reviews. And that's another thing is what are you doing with your customers after you've taken their money and you've
Right.
walked away from their house? Now what are you doing?
Yeah.
Because you got
Yeah.
you got what you want now.
Yeah.
You
Let's
just
talk that process real quick because that's super important. So, let's end with that. What is that? So, you've left my house. Now, what happens? How do you keep me and get me more engaged?
so our process, um, branded envelopes,
Nice.
kick charge. They
Beautiful.
created these.
Nice.
Um, a magnet for them to throw onto the fridge, right? This
Nice.
magnet specifically, it has kitchen conversions on it, so it's
Oh, sweet.
and it has my brand on it too. It's a tool
Sweet.
though. It's not just like, hey, we'd really appreciate if you put our magnet on your fridge because you love us so much. No, it's an actual tool that they want to keep on their fridge. I have
Yeah.
it on my fridge. I'm not trying to sell myself, but there's
Right.
one on my fridge because it's actually useful.
Yeah. Give them something helpful, calendar or, yeah, conversions there. What was the QR code? That'll take them to a landing page of some sort?
Yeah, that's just the Google page.
Yeah.
BPMP profile. But included with that, so the magnet is in the envelope. We also
Nice.
have these letters. All right. So the
Nice.
top portion is printed out. I have like, I think 5 different versions of thank you letters so that we're not sending out the exact same one to
See,
the customer every time. Less
beautiful.
chance to get a repeat or a duplicate. But the big part is your handwritten note down here at the bottom.
Nice.
Right? So
So you'll add something at the end there.
yeah, so we actually have a form that the technicians fill out in the field, and it says I think it's called the thank you letter note, and they have to fill it out. Hey, what do you want us to include on your thank you letter? And then
Nice.
the ladies in the office, they write that handwritten note with some really
Nice.
pretty glitter ink, because it makes them they have fun doing
Yep.
it really.
I
And then
like
they
it.
package it up and send it out. And for any customer that gives us a 5-star review, we send out gift cards. So
Nice.
Texas Roadhouse, this is a great
Nice.
marketing tool. The one near us, they have signs hanging all over the place. And the deal is, hey, you give us $1,500 and we'll put your sign up. But what we'll also do is we'll give you $1,500 worth of gift cards in any denomination that you want. So I got $10 gift cards,
Really?
and it's like a massive win-win for both companies, really, because Texas Roadhouse is getting paid, but
They are.
our $1,500 is not getting wasted because now I'm giving $1,500 back to my customers.
Yeah. So
So
what is
we
that deal with Texas Roadhouse? You're paying them $1,500 and getting gift cards in return for promoting them, basically.
Yeah, I mean, so basically $1,500 is the minimum, and that's what I paid last year, and that's every year. You can pay however much you want. You can do $5,000 if you want, but
Okay.
basically $1,500 to get a sign hung in Texas Roadhouse. All right, but it's not just all right. Here's my 1,500. Hang my sign. Thanks. We'll see you later. They say, okay. Well, what we'll do is we'll give you $1,500 worth of gift cards.
Beautiful.
You want them? You want them $25? You want them $10? So I did $10. That gives me 150 gift cards that I can give out to all my customers that give me 5-star reviews.
Awesome.
Any customer that refers us, it's hard. It's hard to track referrals. We have
Yep.
to. We actually got one today, and we actually got the customer's name that referred us because not only do we have to get the person's name that referred us, but we have to have their address and everything too. So they pretty
Right.
much have to be an existing customer.
Right.
But if we can get it all hashed out, we send them a gift card too. That way they know, hey, anytime I refer Poseidon Plumbing, I'm getting a gift card, and that's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Great
uh,
system, man.
that's just
Good
some of the
job. Good job. Somebody taught you well, Chris, or you self-taught and dove into the books. You're getting your marketing down beautifully, man. Nice work.
a lot of teaching, and I'd say 80% of it was taught to me on what to do, and it's just that 20% of extra ideas here and there that I think we all have the ideas. There's plenty of
Yep.
ideas I haven't acted on yet. You
Yep.
can only do so much, but you can usually do a lot more than you think, and it's really just a matter of acting on it and making it happen, and
Yeah.
creating a system so that it'll work. That's the other
Right.
big part is you got to systemize everything you do. So, our letters are fully systemized. The jobs are tagged
Yep.
almost automatically so that the people in the office know what type of letter to send out. Because not only do we have thank you letters, we have warranty letters, we have
Nice.
review letters, we have follow up letters.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it's a lot, but if you build a process that can be followed relatively easily, then you'll be
Yeah.
surprised at how well it functions.
100%. And over the years, you will have to do less and less, or maybe no advertising, and you're just building based on your brand and your existing customers, referrals, et cetera. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we should all be doing is building our customer base. So some point in the future, they're bringing in all our leads, on a consistent basis. Good job, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Chris, anything I didn't, how do you want to close out the show? First, tell people how to get a hold of you, and if they're local, maybe looking for some work, how they can reach you or your company, and maybe anything else you want to promote that I didn't touch on.
Yeah, so if you're local and you're looking for a plumber, just Google us, Poseidon Plumbing, and we'll pop up there on the whole map pack and everything. And give us a call and know that when you call us, we're going to be out there same day to get that issue taken care of for you. As far as socials, you can find me on socials at Chris Floman, and I'm actually on YouTube and TikTok at Chris Floman as well. And we do plumbing videos, educational type videos for residential homeowners. And yeah, that's pretty much where you can
Nice.
find.
So you got a pretty active YouTube channel, sounds like. I didn't get there, so my apologies.
Oh, no worries. It's under a completely different name. So my YouTube name is Chris Floman. It just I think it's the perfect plumber's name, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. You want it flowing instead of Chris backed up kind of
Yeah,
thing, right? So yeah, all good. Chris, you're awesome, man. Thanks for coming on the show, sharing, secrets of the sauce with the teams out there. So everybody's looking at trying to get ahead and save a little stumble. So good job. Some great advice out there, man. Thank you.
yeah. Thank you very much, and thanks for having me on. I enjoy talking about this stuff, and
Yeah,
I hate
likewise.
that I
No,
have to go so soon. I have an appointment to get to, but yeah, I could
no,
talk about this for another hour.
right?
So
Well, we'll have you back on in a few months or something, man. We'll do a little update. So you're awesome. Thanks again, Chris. Appreciate you, man.
yeah, thank you. You have a good rest of your day.
You too, sir.